As I began to love myself, I understood how much it can offend somebody if I tried to force my desires on this person, even though I knew the time was not right and the person was not ready for it, even though this person was me. Today, I call it respect. Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Imran Kasumba, and I'll be taking you through a series where we learn about mental disorders. Today, as you can tell by the title of the video, we'll be talking about myths surrounding depression. There's a lot of misconceptions and rumors that surround depression, and today I hope to debunk most of them. I asked on my Instagram page, what are some common beliefs about depression? You guys didn't disappoint because there were quite a few answers. As we dive in, remember to like, share, and comment on this video, and subscribe to the channel. Depression is just a phase. A phase is a distinct period or a stage in a series of events. When one refers to depression as a stage, they innately believe that it's a temporary state of being. In actuality, depression can last as long as it's not treated. When you suffer from depression, your brain is physically changed. You stand to lose gray matter volume. This loss is caused by parts of your brain shrinking due to the hormone cortisol, impeding the growth of your brain cells. Since gray matter volume contains most of your neurons, slowed growth means that your cognitive capabilities are at risk of impairment. Neurotransmitters in the brain, specifically dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, affect feelings of happiness and pleasure, and may be out of balance in people with depression. People with depression are faking it, or it's their choice. As explained earlier, depression is a very real sickness that quite literally alters brain chemistry. People who are depressed are heckled and bullied because they are told that they are faking it, being called lazy, boring, unproductive, and so on. In reality, it's a struggle to get through a single day. Instead of judgment, depressed people need help. Sometimes, depressed people question themselves whether they are really depressed or just faking it for attention. While the possibility exists, it's important to note that mentally stable people don't fake mental disorders. Depression is for women. We've learned that women are twice as likely to get depressed. However, to think that men don't get depressed is a grave mistake. Although women get more depressed, men are 3 times as likely to commit suicide. Depression being a lead cause of suicide, it's clear that men suffer from it. In fact, I dare say that men have poor coping mechanisms, thus leading to drastic measures. The idea of men not having depression in our community most likely stems from the ideology of a man, where a man can't be weak, and an illness such as depression is considered a weakness due to its intangibility. Knowing what we know now, we cannot call a man weak because he acknowledges that he is ill. Because in truth, the weak man is he who would not fight an illness that's killing him. Depression is synonymous with drug abuse. Approximately 30% of drug abusers are likely to have depression, according to the WHO. Here in Kenya, many people believe that drugs can automatically lead to depression. The belief is further emphasized when drug abusers start going through withdrawals. It's true that drug misuse can cause depression. However, to assume that all or most of the people who are depressed have had an experience with drugs is wrong. Most depression cases have no relation to drug misuse, and most misusers are simply not depressed. Substance abuse is a mental disorder all on its own. Some people believe that tangible losses are the only valid reasons to be depressed. For example, it would make sense to be depressed over the loss of a loved one or a significant financial loss. However, would not make sense to be depressed over something such as abuse or past conflicts. I cannot stress how wrong this is. Depression's causes can often be hidden and intangible. Past occurrences can manifest themselves as trauma and develop into depression. Sometimes, a reason isn't even needed at all. Depression is an illness, and thus should be treated like one. Those from well-off families not only have what they need, but also what they want. They have no reason to be depressed. Those who have material possessions should be happier, and therefore they shouldn't complain. It's very common in our community to compare struggles. This culture is detrimental. This is because our struggles are inherently different and each affects different people in different ways. Those who are well off can experience abuse, conflict, and loss. Depression is widespread and is a serious problem all around the globe. The fact is, anyone is susceptible to depression. Your generation has it easy. This is a common retort used by older generations. In truth, many aspects of our lives are easier. Access to food, education, and the like have been improved by a vast margin. Technology has developed and there's more money in circulation. Regardless, that doesn't mean life is easy. Unemployment has been growing, cost of living has increased, and the societal pressure to outperform every single person is almost tangible with the rise of social media. Depression is a real disease, and it does not care about your age. A lot of people think depression is easily recognizable, or that depression is just being sad. Depression is a very slow, developing illness that works its way into your life. By the time it's noticed, if one is not careful, it may be quite late. Depression has very many symptoms that exclude sadness. It hinders daily life still, as it causes changes in eating and sleeping habits, anxiety, and even loss of interest in hobbies you used to enjoy. It's very likely that many people are actually depressed and they don't even know it. It's a common belief that a person who is depressed cannot function. Functionality in this case being going out to have fun, working, and being active overall. Although smiling depression is not a clinical diagnosis, it exists and poses as a serious problem for very many people. Smiling depression is the masking of symptoms by a person. There are many reasons as to why one would do this. Some of them are fear of embarrassment, denial that they are depressed, fear of backlash from their environment, concerns about appearing weak, guilt, and having unrealistic views of happiness. Signs of smiling depression to look for are changes in appetite, changes in sleep, feelings of hopelessness, and loss of interest in activities. Some people would even greatly pretend when with others such that it's only them themselves who can notice the changes listed above. Thank you for taking time to listen in. I hope you all learned something. If there is a myth or a question that you might have, comment down below and I'll be sure to answer it. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe.